Why yo yo yo? Why yo yo yo? Why yo 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 yo? Wee 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 wee. Why yo yo yo? The officer I don't want me smoke the ganja no more.
I feel the youth don't have so much to do in Uganda's leadership. I think the best thing the youth have to do is to work upon themselves, to improve themselves, than to want to be burdened by things that maybe they'll not be able to change. You know, where the world is leading is not about just education, but what skills have you acquired that you can use them to do different things. I think it's only brilliant and wise if you make a good analysis that politics and leadership is meant for people who have been mentored, who are prepared, with experience. I've seen my friends have become MPs and they are 20-something. 20-something to 30. I want to promise you there's not so much big they have done. The only problem to the youth is unemployment. The biggest thing that has eaten us up, that is drugs.
Drugs, yes.
I can talk about drugs the whole day.
Yes.
But to me, I always tell my friends that I want one person to ever give me a reason. A reason or one problem that drugs solve. I can start taking the drugs now.
In Uganda, youths have been on streets several times demanding accountability and demonstrating against corruption. The police, as usual, suppress them and they are brutally arrested and detained without trial. These are peaceful demonstrations and they say it is their constitutional right is to keep law and order, but it does the opposite. What is the role of the youth in the leadership and politics of Uganda? Stay tuned and listen to Sekatawa Firdaus, a student leader. He has a different view on this.
Kikikano bugabuga nk'omwana talyo waabu abalungi baliza kikikano churachura nk'omwana taino waabu abalungi baliza obwolisweke kiswabuli emirindio ginuke abalungi baliza obwolisweke kiswabuli emirindio ginuke abalungi baliza kusoba sobo mukairima no serekiwa banoyo ya abarungi baliza kusoba sobo mukairima no
Our dear listeners and our dear viewers, this is another episode of the Boys League. Today we are going to tap in yet a very difficult topic, and we are going to talk about the role of youth in Ugandan leadership. And today we have a very special guest. He is a leader. He was once my leader for good 6 years. And you see, we are the quality of journalists that went through his leadership. And he has been a friend. We introduce you, Mr. Sector. Welcome to our show.
Thank you so much, my brother Shizo. Appreciate it's a very nice, sweet Sunday, and it's just nice chilling here.
Yes.
Doing something productive this chilling hours. I'm so happy to be here.
The pleasure is mine.
Thank
yes.
you so much.
Mr. Sector, I'm hearing my producer telling me that you increase the volume a bit, and so that our listeners can benefit from this podcast. You know, when you have people that surrounds you in big leagues, people who understand, you know, it will be always an advantage. And so, due to the concerns brought up by our viewers, they said, why don't you look for Sector?
But I'm very humble. I am out of my consent that I choose to do it. So
Yeah.
I'm very happy about it.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to share the
Yeah.
little that I know.
What do we understand when we say youth?
You know, in Uganda, youth is, when you say the word youth, you sound more it sounds more of entitlement. People who are very much entitled. More so, we've talked about the role of youth in the leadership of in Uganda's leadership. The youth, it is better. People who are below age, 30 years, to me, that is what I would define. Though you find a representative of the youth being 45 or something, but to me, I feel the actual youth would have been even 30 years and below. I don't know. Currently, commonly, they define the youth as Gen Z, that is Generation Z. Maybe that's the youth, but like you talked about the role of the youth, to me, I feel the youth don't have so much to do in Uganda's leadership. I think the best thing the youth have is to work upon themselves, to improve themselves, than to want to be burdened by things that maybe they'll not be able to change. I know, on the other part, the youth can play a given role. For example, they can always, because it's a big generation, almost 57%, 75% of Uganda's population. But regardless of being 75%, they have not so much to do with the leadership that there is in Uganda. For example, the person who is a minister today, even if the youth rioted and that person ceases to be a minister, that youth will not become a minister because they're not prepared for that. They cannot do what the minister does. Do you understand? So I feel the youth are not so much supposed to be concentrating on the leadership of the country, but rather concentrate their 25%, let them save the 75% in developing themselves, in improving themselves to better people. So that tomorrow, when there is an opportunity, they are worth taking on. They qualify to take on that role. You understand? Than wanting to make noise for now. They can do less.
So to you, youth must first prepare and then get involved in leadership later.
Exactly. They have to spend all their time, first and foremost, improving themselves. That is, I talk about every youth must make it a point to be educated. Because if you're on the street making noise, rioting, and you're not educated, I feel you're wasting time, that even that you are advocating for, you will not benefit. They acquire different skills. Where the world is leading is not about just education, but what skills have you acquired that you can use them to do different things. Very many people are not doing what they studied. Third, the world is going digital. It's very unfortunate to find a youth who is IT illiterate. It is very unfortunate for them because everything is now getting to be digital. So I feel those are the best things they need to be concentrating on to acquire than, spending all their time thinking about the leadership of the country. Yeah.
For me, I think since they carry the largest population percentage, they need to be represented in areas of responsibility. And do you find that having any sense?
The youth are represented everywhere. There is a youth MP. We've chosen different youth MP. I remember in Bara there was Mini Mpaka. I think Nyamutoro was a youth MP. We have the youth are represented everywhere.
Are they serving their purpose? Because if you look at our country, youth are staging riots and rebellions on streets. What they say as if they are not represented. If maybe we had vigilant youth representatives in those areas of responsibility, taking concerns of the youth to such areas, and think the problem would be somehow little. But nowadays there are very many youth on streets. Do you think they are being represented where?
The youth, I'm from a different school of thought. I want to tell you the youth are represented. There is no leadership, not everyone. With all the European countries that you admire, whatever, there is no leader who will ever satisfy the needs of the people. The same applies to the youth. They are represented, and no one, not even those on the streets, can be given a position that satisfies their needs, the needs of their fellows there within the streets. So, from my own point of view, is they are represented, and no one is going to satisfy them to the fullest. And then also, we can't go away from talking about the way our system is. So no one is going to come out in this system that we have and create a very big difference. That's why I'm saying that difference can only be created if they are prepared. If they are prepared to take on this role. The youth are represented, and then furthermore, like I said, the youth carry a big influence. in the leadership, the youth carry a big influence because it being a big percentage in the leadership. But still, if that influence is not organized and directed, they can still do little. And we've seen it happen. That very much they are the largest population. But not to think they could be led by the minority who are organized. So the best thing I can talk about, the best topic I would enjoy talking about is how the youth can prepare themselves, rather than how much time they have to spend worried about or concerned about the leadership of the country. Yeah, that has to be 25%, but 70% should be on their personal development.
There is a leader who has been encouraging youth to get involved in leadership and politics because he thinks that it's youth, when they are in leadership or in politics, that their problems will be solved. Do you agree? You can go on with demonstrations, sir.
I want to be sure that the youth are misunderstanding that leader that is influencing them to join leadership. First and foremost, I would applaud every leader that encourages the youth to pay attention. Got to be right. To pay attention to the issues of their country, to the leadership issues, to the politics of their country. Because it is very absurd for them to be ignorant about the leadership of their country. Do you understand? That's that 25% I'm talking about. When you're concerned about the leadership of your country, the politics of your country, the situation that there is in your country. But when you're concerned about it, that leader who is influencing them is influencing them to do that. To get concerned. And then also, exactly, and then also to practice, to get to know their rights, you understand? And then practice their rights. For example, the right of voting. You understand? You have a right to vote, but there are people who choose not to practice that right. It is wrong. You understand?
Yes.
And then secondly, of course, there are some people who do not vote will come out tomorrow and complain. Me, I would want to think that a person who has not voted doesn't have a right to claim for anything.
That's why you are telling them to first get prepared.
Exactly. The whole point is being about, even in our day-to-day life, you can have your own brother. You're educated, you finished your university, you're doing a job. By the time you spend 5 years on that job, you have acquired some experience and influence. So you can even rob it for that relative of yours to get a job. But I want to promise you, if they're not educated, would you go to the HR of that company and tell them to recruit there?
Not really.
They could have got an education up to Form 6, but maybe you're working in any corporate company that you could know. If you don't have a bachelor's degree, you may not work there. The best you can do, you will find your friend you studied with to do that job, but not your own brother. However much regardless how much you want them to do that job.
Yes.
It's about being prepared. It's the most important thing. All these other things is just for a balua. We can do less about it.
Dear viewers, we are here with Sector, and he's trying to advise the youth instead of just rushing to join politics and leadership. You'd rather get prepared, and then when it's time, you'll do better.
I want to give you a very simple example on that. I think it's only brilliant and wise if you make a good analysis that politics and leadership is meant for people who have been mentored, who are prepared, with experience and expertise. People, if someone is 60 and they have retired from serving government and they join politics, that person would be qualified. They would have all the experience and expertise required to do something about it. I've seen my friends have become MPs and they are 20-something, 20-something to 30. I want to promise you there's not so much big they have done, apart from living the best of their life, maybe, taking themselves to trips. Because what can you do? It's like someone here, a fellow youth, if they were given 50 million, I want to be sure that in a month's time they would have no single coin. But an experienced, a person with responsibilities, experience and expertise, and a person who is prepared, would even be having the programs or ideas that they will just use this money to make themselves better. You get? So I feel leadership is meant for people who have the experience and expertise, so that people can create impact. But every youth would be fighting for himself, for his family, and friends to make them better.
Do you believe that there are some youths who have done that, who have been elected maybe in areas of responsibilities, and maybe they never had expertise, but they have done better?
I don't know. There is none. Without experience, expertise, and they're not prepared, I don't think there is none who has done that. There is none.
Here is sector from another school of thought telling you that youth, you must first get prepared before you rush to join politics and leadership. Since you are a youth, I think you are not very far away from the youth. You know what the youth goes through.
Yeah.
Can you tell us, please, the challenges of the youth?
The challenges of the youth are not so many. How much people want to make them so many. The only problem to the youth is unemployment.
Yeah.
The youth all they are looking for is money to get themselves better. That's why I say the problems for the youth, a person who is 25 years, their problems are not the same as a person who is 40 years to 50 years. Totally different. So the biggest challenge that there is about the youth is unemployment. That's why unemployed youth, you will never, when you find a person is employed, the youth is employed, you never find them on the streets rioting or making a lot of noise on social media. Do you understand? Because their challenges are going to be they're going to be work related. Maybe my boss is not treating me well, this and that, what they're advocating for is different. Yeah. So the problem with the youth is money. I'm talking about unemployment. Unemployment is the biggest, because employment would make them busy, would provide someone with a better life. That's why I say, for the youth, my biggest advice would be, if it's not favorable, but I think we just need to try our best to find what to do. Just invest that time in something that is productive. Because it is advisable for one to only be stressed about that they can change. But that you can't change, it shouldn't make you have sleepless nights. It shouldn't. There are right people to play that role.
Maybe there is also something in mindset change or their perception about different subject matters. Do you think it's only unemployment? Yes, it's one of the biggest challenges.
Yes.
But I think there is something going on in a society.
Unemployment is the only problem. The mindset you're talking about takes us back to what I said, being prepared. Everything you see was an idea. Everything you see in the world was someone's idea. Idea comes out of someone's mindset. You get?
Yes.
So I don't know what mindset you want to tune people to when they are suffering and unemployed. I don't know if there is a mindset they can understand. You get? So mindset is important, but let us not contrast it to unemployment. That is the biggest challenge that there is with the youth. So after that is solved, mindset will come in. But anyway, if you want to bring it before unemployment, it's part of the preparedness I talked about. Someone being prepared and putting themselves all together. Yeah.
The problem of unemployment, how can you differentiate it from a person from a youth from a rural background and the youth in an urban setting? The way unemployment affects them. How can you differentiate it or even try to define some similarities?
Unemployment affects us all. It affects not just the youth. Even if they are parents, relatives, friends. When I'm unemployed, it is little I can do to help you. And when I'm unemployed, I still remain a burden to my parents who paid millions of money to educate me because education is currently expensive. I remain a burden because when I fall sick, my parents will still have to look after me. When I get any problem, they'll still have to cater for me. So I remain a burden to the parents. I remain a burden to the community. And unemployment leads to the theft you're hearing, the different gangs you get. So whether rural or urban, unemployment gets everyone affected. Because if someone in the village, if they don't have money to hire you to work in their farm, they'll not hire you. They will choose to do that themselves. But if they had money, they would hire you and will get you busy. You get. So we all get affected by unemployment. So at the end of the day, there is nothing like rural urban. Unemployment cuts across.
Yeah. What opportunities are there for the youth?
If we are talking about Uganda, opportunities to tap in are kind of limited. the opportunities to tap in are kind of limited. But I would not want to run away from the subject matter. If any youth, I have not, apart from a few, it's hard to find a youth who has prepared himself and has acquired a skill, and he fails to get where to fall. You understand? It's hard because of one reason. For example, if a youth is good at IT, that makes them extraordinary. That makes them better from the other youth. You get? So there are few opportunities, but only for those that are well prepared. You understand? So the other avenues are, if let someone acquire a skill, because if you have a skill, you can always employ yourself with that skill. That's one of the first avenues to curb unemployment.
That's true.
Then secondly, it could be about youth being able to take on any job that comes without looking at the money that comes with it.
Yes.
Because beyond the money, beyond the little payment, there are other things and advantages and privileges and incentives that come with that job. So it's important that you take on any job that will come your way.
That will come to your way.
Even if you're a graduate.
Yeah, don't despise any job.
Like, take on that job. I promise you, it is going to create a path for you to the next better opportunity. You get? Than you being in your parents' house sleeping. It is not going to earn anything. And then the last one, people stop being entitled. That debate of the youth that you're talking about is because the youth feel they're the majority and, they carry that sense of entitlement. So what will cut our expectations is if we equip ourselves with that necessary skill. Let's not run away from IT. Let's not run away from the physical things. Because if someone, for example, learned baking, they would be you can start it from home. You understand? If someone is acquired with any skill, you can always, when it comes to a skill, you can always start it anywhere. You get it?
Yes.
So I am you're a graduate, but what you're doing is not required to a job.
Yes.
For example, it's a Sunday, we are just chilling out and we are doing something, which I want to call productive.
Yes.
So that's it.
What weaknesses have you identified from the youth?
The weaknesses.
In general or in particular?
In general, like you said, mindset. I don't know how best to bring out mindset, but I want to tell you, we carry a lot of entitlement. A discipline is our biggest problem. Yet discipline is the thing that will take us places. I want to talk about the biggest thing that has eaten us up. That is drugs.
Drugs. Yes.
I can talk about drugs the whole day.
Yes.
But to me, I always tell my friends that I want one person to ever give me a reason. A reason or one problem that drugs solve. I can start taking the drugs now.
Viewers, in the comments there, put us problems that have ever been solved by drugs.
I just want one reason. I don't want so many reasons.
Yes.
If I promise you, if
Only
someone
one.
gave me a reason or a problem that drugs have helped them
ever
solve,
solved.
I promise to take drugs now. Because drugs have eaten up our community. People are learned. People have tried to go to school. But I want to tell you, drugs have drained them. Drugs have drained the youth. Drugs have drained the youth because I feel drug addiction, it is little you can do. Because, for example, if a person employed you because you're good at your skill or whatever, before you know it, the drugs will make you come to work late, will make you not be sober, will make you mess up with things at work, and before you know it, you become unemployed again, right? When it comes to drugs, you will spend, I call taking of drugs as losing hope.
Losing hope, and you start to look for hope in drugs.
You will never deal you will never meet a person who is most dangerous in this world. Like a person has lost hope. There is no person more dangerous than that person.
They are not shy of anything, and they can do anything for anything.
So the weaknesses are found. Drugs is a
Drugs.
very, very big challenge that is letting us, the youth. It has made our seniors not confidence in us.
Yes.
You get, when you walk in and you look at you 25 to 30, they're already suspicious. And maybe you do drugs, maybe you do what, So drugs, I am still not yet convinced why the youth have to take drugs. I don't know what problem there is that drugs solve themselves. I think I am dying to find out.
Maybe it's frustration of unemployment, anxiety.
That's what I call losing hope. That's what I'm saying. One should give me one reason why
they are taking drugs.
Yeah. That frustration is not an issue. You're not the only frustrated person. Because taking drugs is getting your entire bright future to waste.
Oh my God.
Because not even your friend. I want to promise you, when you're doing drugs, not even your friend, not your brother, not your sister, will give you an opportunity because they're not ready to get themselves disappointed by you.
By you, yes.
So they can't.
Are there any initiatives or programs that maybe the government or non-government organization have put up to help the youth in one way or another?
I want to believe the youth are more educated than their parents. I want to hope that. Government has tried. We shall criticize the government. It will never satisfy everyone's needs. But for example, you hear a lot of things. The youth are learned that I want to believe they should be able to apply for government program stuff. Like for example, PDM, Emyoga, NGOs are doing great, Banks have come down to offer loans for small starting businesses. You get SMEs. It's a number of things that there is. But I encourage the youth to just get involved in doing anything around them the moment it can earn them a pay. Life is easy with money.
So they have to, when you have money.
They just have to look for money, not drugs, not anything, not politics, not politics, not drugs, not anything, but rather to go out and look for money.
If we are to talk more about maybe unemployment, don't you think career guidance would also help when they are still, in secondary schools or even primary, to get them prepared?
Career guidance is important. Career guidance is important because it shapes mind, it shapes people's goals, mind. But what you call being prepared, it's a lot of all those things are in the first point I talked about.
Preparation.
A youth should spend their time for personal development and growth. Career guidance comes in there, mindset comes in there. They all fall. Let the youth spend their time making themselves better, personal development, personal growth. And with that done, they'll be outstanding. Because, for example, I give you a very simple example. Do you want to tell me that all the people you studied with, they all don't have jobs?
No, not really.
The people have gotten jobs and you also accept that they qualified to get those jobs.
Yes.
Because even from school, you saw them organized and empowered in a different way. You get? So it's the same way that, it's something I'm talking about. Like be outstanding amongst your colleagues. That even when an opportunity came, your friends, you're the first person your friends would call. That even your enemy would call you to take on that job because they feel you best suited.
What is your perception of what has our media contributed to the shaping of the Ugandan youth?
Our media has its own advantages and disadvantages. But I want to look at the advantages. I don't know what it's called. I'm forgetting the word, but if you held every person's phone and you check their TikTok, is it the algorithm? If you checked what is there, they're all different. Like our TikTok platforms will show different things. Our X would show different. Our IG would show different. So it applies to Facebook and everything.
Yes.
So to those, you realize if someone is interested in politics, that's what would show most on their TikTok accounts or whatever social media accounts. So to the positive side, social media has helped to shape the mindset of the youth. People have learned so much from social media. I myself, there are a number of things I've learned from social media.
Yes.
Though, other people say it has done more harm than good because it has, in a way, misled a number of people. Because I want to give you an example. On Snapchat, every person is on Snapchat. They are rich, they are lifeists, well-dressed, happening 24/7. So you wonder what platform, what planet they live. You understand?
Yes.
So for a girl who would choose that lifestyle, of course it will mislead them to a different world, because those girls are losing so much to maintain that status. You get? So there is that other side we'll not talk about. But to talk about the positive side, the people have been empowered, have gotten opportunities, job opportunities. People who are now doing social medias, the TikTok influencers and whatever, who are doing it as their job. So it has appreciated those advantages about it.
Okay. What is the leading cause of unemployment, specifically in the youth?
Sorry, it's about government policies. Yeah. It's about government policies, because how many factories are there to employ the youth?
The large number of youth.
How many factories are there? And how many government entities are there to employ the youth? Let's not talk about education, because very many educated don't have the job opportunities. Very many smart people don't have the opportunities. So somehow we ask the greatest. The greatest cause is always about the government policy.
The policies of the government.
Yeah. That's what causes the unemployment.
The unemployment in youth.
Yeah.
Since it is already in place, we know that youth are not employed, maybe because of the government policies. So what's the solution? What can they do? What are some possible solutions?
I've already told them the possible solutions. Go out there and acquire a skill and employ yourself.
Oh, youth fight very much to get a skill, and then employ yourself and make it better.
I want to tell you, if you're a youth and you've not done these two things, if you're a youth and you're not, first and foremost, faithful, believing in God is one first most important thing. Secondly, if you're a youth out there and you've not called what you call self-awareness, if you've not found out your either talent or passion or that one thing you love, so that tomorrow you can see how to do it and earn money from it, you're still struggling.
Because you know nothing.
You're still
don't
struggling.
Know anything to do.
That's what I talked about. My whole point is get prepared. Personal development and personal growth.
Can talents help the youth? Those youth who are talented, maybe in football, music, or any, can they benefit from their talents?
I don't know anyone who is richer than talented people. Personally, talented are people who struggle less. Do you know the beauty there is in doing something you love, and at the end of the day you earn from it? It's crazy.
Oh,
it's the most beautiful thing there is in the world. And from that you surely love to do. You wake up only to go do what you love.
What you love.
And at the end of the day, you're earning from what you love. No person is better than you in this world.
What can the youth do to promote their talents?
They just have to be good at what they do.
What they do. Oh, wow.
They just have to be good at what they do.
And how do they come to that?
Being good is waking up and finding out all possible ways of the different things you need to do. For example, if you're a musician, if you're a footballer, training. You understand? Training, the hard work that comes with it, doing everything required to get yourself good. Like we can't be normal. You got to be extraordinary. So that's what will make you. You don't have to do so much about selling yourself. No, the whole issue is be so good at what you do. Yeah.
According to your own perception, how do you think the life of youth will be in 20 years to come, generally in Uganda, as far as you see the way things are going?
I'm not prophetic. I'm not a prophet. I'm not prophetic. I'm not a prophet.
Hey.
But one thing I'm sure of is the most important thing in life is being better than you were yesterday. It's not about being, it's not about being the best, but being better than you were yesterday. So if a youth can wake up to get themselves better every day. You get? To get themselves better every day in the right path. You get? You wake up every day, do that you love, improve it, grow it. You can never remain the same.
Does the quality of education in Uganda prepare a best Ugandan youth?
I have my seniors have talked about our education system being whatever that it is, but I want to promise you one thing. Regardless of how bad our education system is, acquire that education.
Why?
Regardless of how bad our education system, because that is what there is. So acquire it because you're going to work in the same environment. All people you're going to work with have gone through that education system.
Don't you think it limits them somehow?
It will limit you, but I promise you.
It's better
the
than nothing.
Education is useless only when you've acquired it. You get? But one who has not acquired it knows how important it is. So that degree is only useless when you have it.
When you have it.
But just don't have it and see. That's what I can say. So don't complain about the education system, because I'm not maybe at that level to talk about it, because everyone has criticized it. But I promise you, first acquire it.
Today it was quite tough because, always good people will give good content, and I know you might have been having different perceptions about the quality of youth that we have in a country. But Sector is here to explain to you what it is, but not what you want to hear, but what it is. If you take his words serious, you can change the status quo. If you just go and be on drugs, you won't go any further. It's such a pleasure to have Mr. Sector. Thank you for come our show and teach the country.
Of course, I'm so humbled. MC Sector is the name that I use. I only host corporate events. I am just a youth, like no any other youth, trying to struggle in this country of ours, trying to make my life better. It's only through making my life better that I can make yours better. So I love it when, I can meet youth when they are sober, we hang out, we chill out, we share the different challenges and experiences. So I'm one unserious youth like any other. Suffering, going through life, but one that is trying to make themselves better.
Yeah. So every youth there, try to make yourself better. Prepare enough and things will change. Thank you for being our viewers for today. Until we mix next time, thank you.